So we are here with another Prelims power play video regarding the environment current affairs. So today's topic for discussion will be, we'll take two topics. That is a recent report released by IAS, that is International Center for Integrated Mountain Development, regarding the Hindu Kush mountain, and we'll also discuss about the Global Biodiversity Fund that was recently initiated or inaugurated. So yes, moving on to the WISE report. So WISE report is nothing but the Water, Ice, Society and Ecosystems report, also known as the WISE report, which is being released for the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So what does this report say? So this report holds that there is an looming biological crisis or biodiversity related ecological crisis in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region due to increased climate change, global warming and all these things. So what does this say? So it says that glacial melt, Hindu Kush mountains could lose up to 80% of their glaciers in the coming days. This is one point that the report holds. Another thing is that in the Kush region, even if the temperature increase is reduced, like it is being arrested at the 1.5 level, even if we achieve the 1.5 degree target, the biodiversity of the Hindu Kush region will be affected on a large scale. And the report also holds that in the 70 years starting from 1951 to 2020, the Hindu Kush Himalayan region has witnessed an increase in temperature of 0.25%. Yes, these are the various inputs that the report holds, and it also says that the Indian river system, three major Indian river systems, Ganges, Brahmaputra and Indus, these three river systems, the incoming of water will increase up to 2050 due to large scale melting of glaciers, and from 2100 it will start to decrease because all these glaciers will be lost. So this is what the WISE report holds. Now what are these range of mountains that we talk about? What is this Hindu Kush region? So Hindu Kush region is nothing but a group of very tall mountains that starts from Afghanistan and goes on up to Myanmar. You all know this Himalayan system, right? Himalayan system is also a part of the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So it is a very large expanse of mountain ranges that run for almost 3,500 kilometers, covering up to 8 countries. The 8 countries from west to east is, we have Afghanistan, we have Pakistan, then we have India, we have China, Nepal, Bhutan, then we have Bangladesh and Myanmar. So these are the 8 range countries of Hindu Kush Himalayan region. And Hindu Kush Himalayan region also has a lot of other names also. So what is this other name? It is also called as the Tower of Asia. Why is this called as the Tower of Asia? Because it is called as the Water Tower of Asia because a lot of rivers, almost 12 rivers originate here. Take the Indus, Brahmaputra, Ganges, Amudarya, Helmand, you take Mekong river, all these famous rivers that feed almost 16 countries, that give water to almost 16 countries, flow through originate in this Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So that is why it is called as the Water Tower of Asia. And another name for this is that it is also called as the third pole. So why is it called the third pole? Because we all know poles are very cold areas. So if we have the North Pole and the South Pole, and in comparison we also have a smaller pole in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So it is to portray the significance of the ice that is present in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. So that is why we are calling the Hindu Kush Himalayan region as the third pole. This is what Hindu Kush Himalayan region is about, and this is what the WISE report is all about. So yes, and we will move on to the next topic, that is the Global Biodiversity Fund. So what is this Global Biodiversity Fund? Recently, Global Environmental Facility (GEF) has created a fund known as the Global Biodiversity Fund. So this Global Biodiversity Fund, it is, why was this fund created? This was created to achieve the Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework. So Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework. So what is this Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework? Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework is nothing but a set of targets that has to be achieved, that will be better if achieved. You know, like in order to protect our biodiversity. We all know this convention, right? Convention on Biological Diversity that came out of the 1992 Earth Summit. So a recent COP, Conference of Parties 15, COP 15 of CBD has released this particular framework, Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework. Kunming we all know is in China, and Montreal we all know it is in Canada. So this COP, people from all across the globe, the parties to that particular convention, they came together and they brought this thing called as the Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework. It has a lot of targets to safeguard the biodiversity in the entire globe. So it also has this particular thing called as the 30 by 30 targets to save 30% of degraded ecosystems and 30% of ecosystems in general by 2030. This is what the biodiversity framework is, and achieving this particular target, it requires a lot of funds. So the recent Global Biodiversity Fund started by Global Environment Facility will act as a funding mechanism to develop or to achieve or at least try to achieve this Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework. So here I have a few questions, at least I have 3 questions to be exact, regarding such concepts, previous year questions regarding such concepts. You take GEF, what is the GEF, or such bodies and international organizations that were in news at that particular point of time. Yes, the first question for discussion is from the 2015 question paper, that is with reference to Global Environment Facility, which of the following statements is or are correct? Option A, it serves as the financial mechanism for Convention on Biological Diversity and United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Option B, it undertakes scientific research on environmental issues at global level. Option C, it is an agency under OECD to facilitate the transfer of technology and funds to underdeveloped countries with specific aim to protect the environment. Option D, both A and B. So this is the 2014 previous year question regarding such institutions and all these stuff. And if you analyze previous year question, you can see a pattern that is being followed. If a current affair organization is in news, there are high chances for that particular question to be reflected in that year's prelims or the next year's prelims. Like all these things were news, all the topics that we are going to discuss were in news in that particular year. So yes, the second question goes like this. The Millennium Ecosystem Assessment describes the following major categories of ecosystems: ecosystem services, provisioning, supporting, regulating, preserving and cultural. Which one of the following is supporting service? Protection of food and water. B, option A, protection of food and water. B, control of climate and disease. C, nutrient cycling and crop pollination. D, maintenance of diversity. So again 2014, we have another question from 2014. Consider the following international agreements. First agreement, the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. The second agreement, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. The third, World Heritage Convention. Which of the above has or have a bearing on the biodiversity? A, option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 3 only. Option C, 1 and 3. Option D, 1, 2 and 3. So these are the previous questions with respect to topics similar to what we have discussed today, and all these organizations that were in news at that time of the examination. Thank you.